Conventional financial advice demands that you rely on sheer discipline and restriction to get ahead. It treats saving like a test of character, assuming you can simply willpower your way to a better bank account. Researchers at Stanford and Duke University suggest a different reality. Most financial struggle stems from a biological mismatch between ancient neurological wiring and the demands of modern economics. Your brain is effectively a legacy system trying to run high-speed software. Evolution designed the human brain to seek immediate dopamine hits to ensure short-term survival. It excels at finding calories or avoiding predators today, but it lacks any hardwired mechanism to calculate the value of 30-year compound interest. This line graph illustrates the drain of decision fatigue. Every micro-choice, from selecting a morning snack to choosing a grocery aisle, depletes your mental battery. By the time you face a major spending decision at 6 p.m., your willpower battery is often completely empty. Self-made wealth is rarely the result of superhuman discipline. Instead, it is built by people who bypass these cognitive glitches entirely by automating unsexy, boring habits that allow money to grow without conscious effort. Your brain falls for the future self delusion every time you enter a grocery store. It misinterprets empty shelf space as a survival crisis and overestimates how much healthy, home-cooked food your future self will actually prepare. Buying fresh ingredients instead of bulk items for your perishables forces you to confront your actual consumption patterns. You buy exactly what you can eat this week, which eliminates the waste that usually drains your budget. Forcing yourself to cook with whatever is left in the fridge before restocking triggers consumption completion satisfaction. Finishing that job's sauce or frozen chicken delivers a free dopamine hit, satisfying the brain's desire for newness without spending a single dime. Treating your current inventory as a hard limit stops the brain from viewing the grocery store as an emotional safety net. You learn to value what you have rather than constantly seeking what you lack. The human brain suffers from complexity bias, the false assumption that a 10-step routine must be more effective than a simple one. This leads to expensive, multi-step habits that are eventually abandoned because they are simply too difficult to maintain. A minimal 3-step skincare or beauty routine is actually more effective because you are more likely to do it every day. Consistency beats complexity, and your money stops gathering dust in the bathroom cabinet. This same desire for novelty creates the myth of wardrobe fatigue. We fear that others will judge us for repeating outfits, but research shows that most people rarely notice what you wore last week. Wearing the same high-quality clothes repeatedly drastically alters the math of your wardrobe, as shown in this cost-for-wear comparison. This repeated exposure also builds style confidence. By wearing a specific piece 30 times, you learn exactly how it fits and makes you feel, allowing you to dress for your actual life rather than a fantasy image. Removing complexity from your physical products trains your brain to value effective results over the dopamine spike of a new purchase. Eliminating small daily joys causes deprivation backlash. When the brain feels entirely punished, it eventually rebels by driving you to impulsively overspend in another category to compensate for the loss. Relocating the dopamine hit allows you to keep the joy without the recurring cost. Making premium coffee at home with specialized beans turns a chore into an intentional ritual, providing the same neurological reward as a cafe trip for a fraction of the price. There is a massive psychological difference between intentional spending and habitual browsing. Mindless scrolling through online stores releases dopamine even if you buy nothing, reinforcing a dangerous association between boredom and consumerism. Breaking this cycle requires replacing shopping with a challenging hobby. Engaging in creative tasks or intense physical training hijacks the dopamine pathway, giving your brain the engagement it craves without relying on a digital cart. Strategic money management requires redirecting how your brain earns its dopamine, moving the reward from impulsive purchases to intentional, low-cost rituals. Decision fatigue is a constant threat to your savings. Without a strict daily structure, you bleed mental energy making reactive choices, which leads directly to solving problems with impulsive spending. Standardizing your weekly food intake by eating the same meals on rotation eliminates hundreds of micro-decisions. This keeps your willpower battery charged for the choices that actually matter. A highly structured, predictable baseline routine protects you from reactive spending triggered by social media envy. When your day is already planned, you are less likely to buy things just to keep up with someone else's highlight reel. Spending 3 minutes every evening logging your expenses is a data collection tool. By tracking your mood alongside your spending, you activate subconscious pattern recognition. You begin to see the emotional patterns behind your purchases, allowing your own brain to self-correct without needing any sheer willpower. A structured, boring routine creates a frictionless environment designed to protect your decision-making battery from unnecessary drain. Your brain uses mental accounting to categorize money based on where it is located. If cash is visually available in your primary checking account, the brain views it as spendable and will seek a way to use it. You can exploit this by paying yourself first. Automating your savings transfers to happen the moment your paycheck hits treats your future wealth like a mandatory, non-negotiable bill. Routing a portion of your income into a separate, hidden vault tricks the brain into adapting to a lower visible income bracket. Because the money is moved before you ever see it in your checking account, you avoid the feeling of deprivation entirely. This invisible automation allows your money to multiply through compound interest in the background. Your wealth grows exponentially while your daily life continues within the limits of your visible accounts. Building massive wealth requires the quiet, invisible accumulation of automated habits that run when no one is watching. It is a slow, steady process rather than a singular event. The ultimate financial advantage belongs to those who stop fighting their own biology. By embracing unsexy automated routines, you allow your wealth to build itself quietly while you focus on living your life.